Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I love that opening. Oh my God, how great is that? I have to say thank you, Don, so much for making that music for this. And thank you, Bill K, for the announcement. And I'd like to welcome again Renee, my producer, Renee. Say hi, Renee.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have Renee with me tonight. So this is so much fun. Well, we have lots to talk about. Where should we start? Should we start with the energy of what's going on right now? Or should we start with something really strange that happened to me last night? Let's start there.
Okay.
This is the strangest thing ever. So let me just tell you a little bit, and then Renee's going to put the picture up. This is the strangest thing ever. I mean, to go with the strange energy that we're having right now, and everybody's feeling this energy. So I have this app on my phone. It's called Sky View. It's just a $2 app. It's called Skyview. You point it out and you can look at the stars and you can look at the moon and you can look at the planets. And I love doing planet work, so I love to look at the different planets. So every night I go out with my dogs. 11 o'clock at night, I'm out there, just, oh, look, there's Vega. Oh, look, there's, Mars. There's Saturn or whatever it happens to be. So last night I'm looking at the moon and okay. And I look over and I look at Mars and Uranus. They were actually really close to each other. And all of a sudden, in the middle, I see something that I'm floored. I can't believe it. So I actually got a picture of it because I couldn't believe it. So Renee's going to put this picture up. And this is what I saw last night, 11 o'clock, on my farm. And you might not be able to look at this picture, but what it is, if you can see in there, it is a satellite. That is a satellite in between Mars, which is the little red planet on the right, and that was Uranus up there to the left, and you can actually see a satellite. So I clicked on it. I said, what in the world am I seeing? A satellite? And it is a Russian satellite. Just saying, pretty odd. You live in Wisconsin, and a lot of crazy shit goes on. But I just thought that was really strange when I saw that. I don't know what to make of it. I'd love to know if anybody has seen satellites with using these apps to look at the stars. I'm sure people have. I just would love to see somebody else tell me that they had seen something like this. And it actually had a name to it. Anyway, it was just very, very surprising. And everybody I sent it to was also equally surprised. So just want you to know, when you look up in the stars, there might be other things up there. And it's so funny because there are some astrologers that are actually predicting that in the next month, this month and the next 2 months, that we may, from the government, hear about different extraterrestrial information, which would be interesting. And I'm not a conspiracy person at all, but I just find all of this kind of fascinating. I'll just say that. So anyway, that was my exciting night last night, and it's been on my mind all day. Anyway, so let's talk about the energies here. They're intense. These energies are intense. And I know my phone is blowing up constantly on emails and texts saying, Kellee, how do you feel? What's going to happen? Oh my God, tell me this one or tell me that one. And my clients are also 50% down the middle. So it's really interesting to me. It's not just this client base or this client base. Everybody's got their own opinion of what they think. And so let's just talk a little bit about, because I did a show last night. I did a show last night, and I did say what I'm going to say now, actually. So I've been saying this all along, that it will look, the question is who's going to win for president. It's going to look like one person is going to win, and I think the other person gets it. I'll say it like that. That's a good way to say it. It's going to look like one way, but actually this happens. I think something very surprising happens in this time period, because this is all based on astrology. It's not a personal opinion at all. So I just feel that it's going to be, it's going to go a different, not the way that it looks like it's going to go, may go south real fast. That's what I think is going to happen. Astrologically, these are very intense times. You can feel the energy right now. If I just start, and I did an astrology thing last week for November, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about it right now, and then we'll get into some great questions. But on the election day, actually, which was Tuesday, it was interesting because at that same time that Mercury went direct on that day, it's stationed, so the energy was very intense. But Mercury was in Libra, okay? And Libra is fair and balance. Libra represents scales of justice. So I believe that this will be determined by some governing body will determine who's going to be the president. That's what I think is going to happen. And then on November 7th through the 9th, we have a very powerful, intense time, the 7th to the 9th. On the 7th, Mars quincunx the sun, which means it's very close to the sun, but it has terrible aspects to it. And it's very troubling because the sun represents leadership and Mars represents violence. And so this is a very intense day. And we're just talking about like Sunday, I think. Sunday's the 7th, November 7th. And on November 9th, Venus is in its own home of Libra, okay? And that's the ruling planet of love and relationships. And it squares Mars, the planet of war, in Aries retrograde. The last time this happened was 1941. If you think about some of the aspects during that time in 1941, it was a very intense time. So it's also watch for relationships. In relationships, if they're you keep as calm as you can during these next several days. Really, you want, as I talked about it last week, you want to remain as calm as you can during this very heated time. You know, your soul wanted to be here during this time to evolve, and maybe you're working on patience. Maybe that's really the lesson. Maybe you're working on tolerance. That could be the lesson here. There are many, many lessons that are going to be learned that you thought, oh, I don't need to learn that. It's my way. No, it's the highway. It's going to be insane. So breathe. We'll get through all of this. I say this every week. We'll get through all of this. Bring in your higher self. Higher self resides on a higher realm, and we come here with just a small aspect of ourselves here. And in the higher realms, the energy is calm and cool. And when we come here, it's turbulent. And right now, it's like turned up turbulence. So that you want to just remember that. We're just here for a short period of time. May feel like a long time, but we're all here for a short period of time. And you're here to learn something. So what can you learn during this time? Figure it out. You can learn. Everybody can learn something here. You know, faith, hope, and really, I should talk about. Somebody had asked me about what surrender means spiritually, and to surrender when we talk about spiritually, it doesn't mean to give up. It actually means to let go of control. You know, just accept that there's a higher power. Accept that there's a higher plan here. Because guess what? There is. You know, there just is. And so I would say, you know, surrender into the energy here. Just let everything play out. There you go. So that's that for that. And also on November 12th, I want to remind everybody we have a Jupiter conjunct Pluto. That is the final conjunction of the year. There were 3 this year. It's the 3rd. It's going to be going to be a very trying time also. I mean, this month, November, is trying. Okay, it's just going to be intense. But a lot of amazing breakthroughs come through with this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. So some of the aspects are going to be, we're going to find a cure for COVID. There's going to be a vaccine. There'll be treatments, healing treatments for all kinds of things because of this one aspect. I don't mean on that day, but I mean for the next year and a half. It really will continue to last. And again, there's so many aspects to talk about. November 28th, Neptune, that's been retrograde, the dreamy planet, it actually goes direct. And so when that goes direct, we're all going to be dealing with compassion for others, compassion for ourselves. Okay, so just take a time to think about, compassion for what you've gone through and what others go through. And just because somebody has an opinion of this or an opinion of that, I mean, think of their souls. Think of there other things other than their opinions of one thing or another thing. Their people are a little deeper. I like to think that anyway. Some people. Um, and on November 30th, we have the lunar eclipse in Gemini, and that's going to push our old belief systems out. It's going to be a very, very intense month. So again, let's just everybody take a deep breath, deep calming breath. We get through all of this. It's a fascinating time, actually, to have a life during this period of time. Just think of this. We'll go back to the other side and go, yeah, I was there during that time, and that's what we'll do. Anyway, so that was that. So I'm dying to answer a bunch of questions here, but I do want to say some good news. I have some really good news, and I do want to announce this. And I was given the approval to announce this. So beginning on November 16th at 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. Eastern Time, James Van Praagh and I are going to do a show together. And it's going to be every Monday. It's called Both Sides Now and Beyond. My show was Both Sides Now. You may recall that. And James's show was Beyond. And so we're going to take spiritual lessons, spiritual questions, and psychological questions. So Dr. Shirley will be coming on as a guest or as a guest host on occasion. Probably once a month we'll have Shirley on. So trust me, everybody's asking how Dr. Shirley is. She's great. She's busy. She's working her ass off. All therapists right now are working so hard. All therapists, all mediums, anybody that can help people in this time of need right now, we're all working really hard. So Dr. Shirley is working so hard that she just couldn't do the show every week. She just couldn't do it. So she's going to come in about once a month. So it'll be perfect. And Dr. Shirley and I are still teaching. And before I get to the questions, I'll just bring this up again. On November 17th, Shirley and I are teaching Bad Dads. So we did Bad Moms a couple months ago. Now we're doing Bad Dads, and there's still some tickets available if you guys want to join us. And this is going to be, if you had a bad father, raise your hand.
And I think, Kelly, it is November 14, not 17.
Oh, it is November 14th?
No,
Sorry
14th.
about that, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm glad one of us is paying attention. Thank you. November 14th. It's a Saturday. And this is going to be to help you find some peace, some forgiveness, some release, at least from your past, if you've happened to have a bad father. And I love this when father didn't know best. So it's going to be a very powerful 2-hour seminar. And I believe that James Van Praagh is going to come and do afterwards a meditation to bring everybody back to a very peaceful place here. So he did that for the bad moms. So now we're doing bad dads, and then Shirley and I will be doing bad siblings soon too. Because who's had that? Oh, I have. So anyway, so there you go, everybody. So I think what I'm going to do now is we're going to take some calls and put your comments up, your calls, and we'll take them. And I've got some great questions, and I thought I want to start with some of the questions, and then I'll take some of these too. But before I forget, I really want to say I did the Jen Weigel show yesterday, and she's terrific. She's written some great books about psychics and mediums, and she's a journalist. She's fabulous. From Chicago, and I did her show yesterday. And I want to say a shout out to Monique, Wendy, and Jane Grossman. Keep up with those plants that you're doing. She's got a whole deal going, which is really cool. And I want to say hi to Lynn. Lynn, I love you in Palm Springs. So I want to say hi to everybody out there. So this is one of these great questions. I have to read this question because I thought it was so great. This is from Emily Nicole. She said, "Hi, Kellee. I'm a therapist, and I would like to know your thoughts on hallucinations." So she's a psychotherapist that works with people that are ill. She said, "I find that many schizophrenic people seem to be really experiencing something. I spoke with another psychic who said she had seen that her brother, who is schizophrenic, that his veil between our world and spirit has tears. And that is why entities can come through to him at any time, usually dark ones, because he's vulnerable. Any thoughts?" And she gives me her birth date. Love listening to your show. Emily, first of all, congratulations as a therapist. You know, it takes a lot of work and concentration and focus to be a therapist out there. And so, and I know how the hard work that you must have put into to be that, and to work with a population of schizophrenic population is tough. So I do want to talk about it because I think it's such a fascinating subject. So schizophrenia, so for people out there, it doesn't mean that you have a multiple personality. Some people think that it's incorrect thinking. It's a disorder that affects a person's ability to think clearly, to behave clearly, and it's odd behavior, very odd behavior. And so the exact cause of schizophrenia is not known. Often it's genetic. Frankly, it's often genetic. Sometimes it can be called, it can be altered by brain chemistry. I know that too, and structure can play a role in that. And so schizophrenia is, there are some certain behaviors that come with schizophrenia. And one of the things that we look at, so whenever I work with anybody as a medium or as a psychotherapist, when I'm working with somebody, I am assessing for any type of what I'm about to describe. I do with everybody. Delusions. So this is this is going to answer your question, Emily. So delusions, and those are like things that are not accurate. You know, I'm being spied on, or they poison the water, or things that really probably, well, I'd like to think that doesn't happen. And hallucinations. So that's a big one with schizophrenia. That's often seeing things and hearing things. Now, as a medium, guess what? I see things and I hear things. So for me, I had a traumatic brain injury. And I've talked about this many, many times, and it's going to be in my upcoming book, What Happened to Me. But I started seeing things and hearing things. Now, having said that, my mother was a psychologist. And fortunately for me, I thought, am I schizophrenic? Like, what's happening? I actually thought that. I wasn't sure what was happening to me because I'm seeing things and hearing things. And she said to me, my mother was a leading existential psychologist, I should say, a PhD, for over 40 years. And she said, no, you're not. She said, you're having a manic episode, which actually was a better thing to hear than schizophrenia. That would have been a rough one, but I wasn't schizophrenic. What had happened is, when you are a medium, your kundalini energy, which is your vital life force, goes right up like this. It goes right up and opens everything up. Now, I had a head injury, and that head injury caused my energy to go whoop up and I mean out. And now I'm seeing things. And then my kundalini energy went kind of down again. And that's where it gets very rough, because during that period of time, you can be misconstrued as schizophrenic because your brain is open in a place with your energy that's been down, and it's a very scary time. It's a very scary time. And fortunately for me, my mother recognized that I was actually seeing spirit, because it ran in her family, and she was very clear about it. She knew exactly, and I was too grounded. I didn't have the other traits, which, again, there's delusions, hallucinations, disorganized thinking. That's when you say the same thing over and over. You could be catatonic. You maybe have lack of emotion or apathy. So these are all traits that can come with schizophrenia. I didn't have any of those. But when I work with anybody, a medium is coming in to see me, I will assess for those traits because I want to make sure that that person is damn grounded when I'm doing this work. So schizophrenia is, I think it's because they're very close to the veil when this Kundalini energy kind of blasts through, and they are never able to ground it. So they really, really do need medication. But I have often wondered if the Kundalini energy was corrected, if they would be just a straight out medium, because it opens up a place in the brain here for it. So I don't know. I hope I answered that question. And entities, yes, entities can come through because they're not grounded. They're not grounded, and the energy is backwards almost. So it's a great question, though. Thank you so much for asking me that question. I so appreciate it. So, I have to say this one. This is so nice, and I can't remember who sent me this one, but I think, was it Celeste? It says, FYI, Spiritual Medium Kellee White, Spirit Flows by Don Marquise, my husband, saved my day today. I felt so on edge and stressed out. Turned this on, and just like that, my energy shifted. So Don, he's such a great musician, and he wrote an album, and it's actually on my Facebook. No, not my Facebook page, on my website, Spiritual Medium Kellee White, and it's called Spirit Flows. And it's Don playing the Native American flute, and it's just beautiful. I mean, he's one of the renowned flautists, and especially of Native American, both in the country, so probably in the world. He's extraordinary. So just wanted to give a shout out to that. That was so nice of you guys to say that. So, okay. So I'm not sure. Should we take a phone call, Renee?
Yeah, I think we can. You want me to bring the first guest
Yeah,
in?
let's bring the first guest in, and then
Okay.
I'll continue to. I've got all kinds of questions to answer, but so far, really great questions, and I really
Okay.
appreciate everybody's question.
All right, we have one person live. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Kelly. This is Kim Ann in Nashville.
Hi, Kim Ann.
Yes.
Hi there. Hi. How can I help you?
Well, I'm just wondering, I had talked to you before. I always comment about your flowers in the background, which you don't have today, but that's okay. I like the pumpkin.
Okay, I have to tell you something. You're so
I'm-
sweet. No, this is the greatest, funniest thing. I said to Don before we went on, "Oh my God, I don't have any flowers," and Kim Ann's going to say something, and the only thing I had was a pumpkin.
I
We didn't
love a
have
good
time.
pumpkin or gourd. So.
We didn't have time to go to Pick and Save and buy flowers. I'm sorry, but I will by Monday. I promise.
I'm just wondering, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this way with that, and you did warn us about November and energy and what was going on, but today in particular, I just had a really hard time, handling the stress of the energy, and I'm wondering, and I have been meditating every day, but I'm just wondering what you suggest that we do. I mean, you can't turn the news on for more than about 3 minutes before it's just too much, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on.
Yes.
What in the world?
I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do, and I put this on my site, and I'll put some more on it. I put this on my Facebook page, I think. I practice every morning. Sounds funny. Tai Chi. I also do Sun Do. It's really similar, and I'll tell you why I do it. It moves energy. You've got so much everybody's got this restless energy of anxiety, frankly. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And if you're an empath, you're going to pick this up whether you have it or not. So what I find every day, I do my Sun Do moves again, if you go to my site, I'll repost it again so everybody can see it. But even if you just do a simple Tai Chi, which, if you think about it, in Asian countries, they often sit outside and they do the slow meditative moves, and it moves energy.
Yeah,
and I will tell you, it is the greatest thing. I do that. And the second thing I do is I have this favorite song now. I'm obsessed. My little brother is in the band Wolfpack. If you guys know who he is, Wolfpack, it's a pretty well-known band. They sold out Madison Square Garden right before, well, last year. But anyway, they wrote a song called LAX. I love the song. I'm obsessed with this. I'll put this on this too. And for some reason, when I blast that song, it changes my mood. It changes everything for me. And then I also will go outside, and I live on a farm, so I get a lot of fresh air. And I walk around, I play with my dogs. I don't let this energy get to me. I can't afford it. I'm helping too many people on both sides of this
Yeah.
aisle. And so because of that, I have to be Switzerland. I'm friggin' Switzerland. I have to be.
Yeah.
Notice I'm not wearing red or blue. I'm
And
wearing
I
turquoise,
didn't
my
know
favorite
about
color.
your husband.
Mhm.
I didn't know about your husband and being a flautist, but I'll have to check out that. You said it's on your website. I'll have to check out that music as well.
Don was with Neil Diamond for 35 years. So he's extraordinary, and
Oh,
you'll
wow.
love his music. And if you go to my kelleewhite.com, you'll find his album. It's Native American, and he has another jazz album too that's like incredible. But Don is a woodwind player, and he actually plays probably 100 instruments. But he just plays everything.
Wow.
He's incredible. But that music, the Native American music, will really calm you guys down. It's such a great thing. This is what this time requires. Really, it requires you thinking about taking action. I think now I'll practice Sundo. I think now I'll read a book. I think now I'll listen to loud music. This is how I think. This is honestly how I think. Now I'll arrange flowers. Now I'll bake some bread. I have to continue this way because I know that we get through this, but this energy is fierce and it's going to dog us if we allow it. I can't allow that to happen. For me, I just can't. I can't. If I go down, I'll bring too many people down. And I've always practiced a positive attitude. Truly, I have. I work hard at it. And that's the other thing. You actually have to train your brain to think in a different way now. You have to think, we get through this, no matter what, we get through this. You have to think like that.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
can I ask you real quick, how did you end up on the farm in Wisconsin?
It's a damn good question. From Beverly Hills. It's a shocker. So it's a real barn burner. So it turned out that it's a long story, but the quick version is we had a second home here. My husband's family is from here. So, and my husband's from Chicago,
Okay.
but the family lived in Wisconsin. So we always thought, oh, one day we'll go live on the farm, and then one day it occurred. I was like, what?
Well, whenever you bring that up, because I'm from Northern Illinois originally, and we would go to Wisconsin, like to go to Southern Wisconsin would be about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. So that was a common thing to do, in the summertime. So that's what made me wonder.
I'm so happy to hear that. I have to say, it is beautiful. Yeah. It is beautiful here, and I really am enjoying all of it. So thanks for asking.
Well,
great question.
Well,
Thank
welcome
you.
to the Midwest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that was sweet.
Take care.
You too, honey. So, okay. So now I'm going to ask another question here. This is from Alyssa Watling. She said, I'm always talking to my team. I know they can hear me. What would they like me to do specifically to get better sense of them? I think she's talking about her spirit guides, and how do I interpret their messages? So with spirit guides, we are all born with spirit guides. We all come in born with them. We pick them before we incarnate, before we come here. We always have minimum of one guide. I have 2 guides. What I see now with people, it's shocking. I see several around a person. So we always have these spirit guides. Oh, thanks, Tammy. She says, great to see you. Love your insights on these difficult times. Thanks, honey. Appreciate that. So with spirit guides, in order to get messages from them, they're with you all the time. They hear your thoughts. They know what you're doing. Sometimes I can imagine they're just like, oh God, no, don't do that. I know that's what they're thinking, because they want their goal, and they know what your path is. So they want to make sure that you're making good choices. Make good choices. This is their goal. She made a good choice today. I'm so happy. So anyway, how do you listen to them? First of all, anything that you say they're going to hear, they're hearing it anyway. just get real still. And a message from them might be, "Oops, the coffee is the tea kettle is going. You better turn that off now." Something you may get a simple message like that. Like all of a sudden, this thought of, "Oh, the tea kettle. Yeah, okay." Or, "Oh, I think I'm going to go outside and pick up something." And next thing you know, something else happens. So you had to go outside. There's guides to just start listening. That's all. That's all. And you can actually feel, ask them their name if you don't know their names. Ask them their names. You all have one minimum. So ask him his name or her name. Might be a very big wisdom guide. Ask them. It's the greatest thing to do. Anyway, I love spirit guides very much. And yes, they exist. And when I had my traumatic brain injury, I started seeing everybody's guides everywhere. So, oops, we just had a little blooper there. It's my guides. That was it. Anyway, all right. Should we take another call, or should I keep going, Renee?
No, I have another caller for you.
Okay, okay.
Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to bring you into the show now. So please go ahead and then introduce yourself.
Hi, Kelly. This is Brandy. I've talked to you a couple times. I met you in Chicago with James Van Prague.
Oh, Brandy, that's so sweet. Did you meet me in February when we were there?
Yes. And I talked to you and I was like, I know you. I've seen you on your podcast. I watch your podcast.
Oh,
yes,
so sweet. That was the last trip I've had this year. You're proof I was there.
That was pretty much that's pretty much the last thing I've really done this year.
Right? Me too.
Unfortunately,
Wow.
besides work.
Oh my gosh. Well, how can I help you, Brandy?
Okay, I was just wondering because I've been reading and doing a lot of education on the Great Awakening. Now, in a lot of the Great Awakening things that I'm reading, Trump they have playing a big role in it. I was just wondering, do you see that he does play it? Because I'm convinced that it is a big role in it.
Huge.
But other people are like, no way. There's no way that he's involved.
Huge role. He's teaching us all many things. Compassion for what we're going through. Let me see. Patience. It is a virtue. He's teaching us all kinds of things. And again, I'm not this side. I'm just being neutral here. Of course, it's a big awakening. I'll say that. It's a big awakening here. And so, yeah, I do agree with that statement.
Agree.
That's his role here.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, this has to be because there's all this information that I'm like, when I'm looking into the Great Awakening, I'm seeing a lot of, the Trump who's trying to help everything and do everything. And then people are like, no, that's a conspiracy. He has nothing to do with it. But in my heart and soul and in my spiritualism, I believe that. And I don't know. I was like doubting myself today. Like,
I mean, I believe that he is here because it's going to cause such chaos that we all have to rise above it. And that's my thought of it. That there's a big purpose here. I do. And I think it's going to make a big change in the world, in this dimension. I do. We'll talk more about that. What?
Are you feeling that it's going to go the way that I've seen it in all of the Great Awakenings, like that he is going to?
I do think.
I mean, I know.
I do think it goes from, it looks like Biden gets it, and then I think Trump gets it. I just see that. Astrologically, to me, it goes from this to, it's the same astrology as in 2000 with Bush and Gore. It's the same thing where Gore had it and then he didn't. And we were all like, oh, like that. It's like this is what I see. I may be wrong. I'm just saying that astrologically we've got some major energies that are coming in right now. Major. And I know, and I'm not saying this because of I'm neutral. I'm being neutral.
Yeah.
That's the
I've
key.
tried to be too.
I
Yeah.
really
And
and mhm. Go ahead.
the whole thing was of, I'm sorry, like, I just had it and then I just lost it. With, I had something to do with Trump too. It's like, okay, no, it was that I just was watching this astrology where they said that the stars and everything aligned the same way they did on July 4th, 1776 to November 3rd. And that's why there's this big reset.
Yeah, it's a big reset. I would agree with that statement. So thanks, Brandy, for calling. I so appreciate that. Take care, honey.
Thank you so much for
You
listening
bet.
and taking my call. Take
Oh,
care.
my
Love
bet.
you.
Love you too. So I have to read this. Mike Keneally says, "Hi, Kelly. I looked up to the sky during the sunset and I saw two angels facing the perfect 11 in the sky. Can you give me some insight what this means?" Wow. I can't even imagine what that was like to see that. That's pretty cool. So you looked into the sky during the sunset and you saw two angels and they're facing a number 11 in the sky. Wow. Well, 11 is the teacher. 11 is 11, 22, and 33 are really come in as teachers, and 11 is a teacher, and 11 means great wisdom here. So you saw two angels with an 11. Wow, that's a big deal. And I would say that would mean you're on a deep spiritual path. If you saw that one, honey, go you. If you can get a picture of that, I'd like to see that. Anyway, okay. And I wanted to answer this question too. I've got a couple of before we take another call. This is from Lori Counts. Hi, Lori. I hope you're well. She said her mother passed in 2013, and she left all kinds of letters and inheritance and things like this to her daughter. And she kind of goes through the story about her daughter. And she said, "I discovered this year that my mother never wanted me. I'm so sorry. That's just awful. But in an era where it wouldn't have been an embarrassment, I was born," she said. Oh, that would have been really rough. I mean, it's so traumatic, isn't it? Some of the stuff that goes on here. She said, "I feel that her mother who's passed is undermining her daughter, and it's been under her influence." So let me just say this. Lori's birthday is 11/28. So Lori, you're a 5 of Hearts. 5 of Hearts comes in for a lot of emotion, to experience everything, experience emotions, experience love, what love is not, those kind of things. And your daughter's birthday, 11/23, she's a 10 of Hearts. And a 10 of Hearts comes to learn everything they can about emotion and about themselves. So the question was, will your daughter's relationship actually be restored with you? Yes, it will. Oh my gosh, honey, don't worry about that. It will. It may, again, you have to surrender. This is the one when I talked about surrender. This is all surrender. This is surrender. Not giving up. This is just let the universe do its thing. With all that heart emotion around, it will come to a healing. There'll be a healing there that will happen. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. Debbie Foster Horan, I have to answer this question. What do spirit guides indicate will come out of this crazy election process? Oh, I'll tell you exactly what they indicate. They hope we grow from it. Trick question. They really do. Our guides want us to grow in ways that you can't imagine. It's simple ways. I had compassion for my neighbor. I had learned patience. I learned tolerance. Can you believe that? I was there in 2020 and I learned to tolerate. That's exactly the kind of things that spirit guides want us to learn. So I think that was kind of interesting. Should we take another call or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to bring Sandy in.
Okay.
Hi, Sandy. You're live now.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Hi, honey. How can I help you?
Hi, sorry, I'm on somebody else's phone. I
That's
didn't know how
okay.
to work it. How are you?
I'm great. How can I help you? How are you?
Good, I'm good. I had my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law passed a couple weeks ago, and there's questions about my mother-in-law's passing. I was hoping maybe you could help us out with that.
my God. They both passed in a week or 2 weeks?
Yes.
Wow. God, honey, I'm so sorry. That's
Yeah.
just awful.
Yeah, thank you.
Did one of them have COVID? Or was it more
No, no.
mysterious, they passed from mysterious, I don't know, what's the right word? Something happened to them untoward?
My mother-in-law, she was found in her bed, passed away.
Okay.
And then my sister-in-law committed suicide.
All within 2 weeks.
Well, actually, probably about a week.
Was your sister-in-law related to your mother, or is that a different?
Yeah, they were mother and daughter.
Oh, they were mother and daughter. Okay, so the mother died, then the daughter committed suicide?
Correct.
Okay.
But we don't know how my mother-in-law passed.
You know, it's a little early to tell. I don't know, but I can tell you this, they are together. I can't tell right now.
Okay.
This is something I'd have to really go into a deep kind of I take this one on as a medium because it's just a lot of information that could come through with this. So I can't just answer this that quickly. It's a big one. I will say this: I believe they're together, and I don't know if they had some sort of
Okay.
pact or not. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just say this. I'm
A
very
pact?
sorry. It's once a pact, like if you go, then I'll go. I don't know. Sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I don't know that for right now. That's a real deep one. So I'd have to really get into that energy there. Okay, I just don't want to be flippant
Okay.
about saying anything because it's such a painful thing and
Okay.
it just happened. I know. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry for your loss. That's just awful.
Okay.
Okay, but thank you for
Thank you.
calling. I'm sorry, honey. Isn't that awful?
Okay. No problem.
Okay, bye. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. So Hope, I'm going to answer Hope's question. She says, please give me some insight on some of these issues I'm struggling with. If possible, your life purpose. So Hope's birthday is 11/12/1969, and she is an 8 of clubs. So Hope, I bet you've been struggling with your mind just goes and goes and goes because 8 of clubs always have to struggle about something. And your life purpose is frankly to help learn everything, study hard, learn everything, work, go, go, go. 8 of clubs brings on a little bit too much worry. So maybe one of the goals here in this life is not to worry so much. Okay, and not to worry so much. You're somebody that I would say, definitely practice Tai Chi or anything that can calm the energy down here because you come in, you could be a writer, you could be an intuitive, you can be anything where you're using mind, body, and soul, all three. Okay, I hope that helps. Hope. Okay, so Connie says, my daughter is a 33. She tells me if 33 doesn't follow a spiritual path, they resonate as a 6. Is that correct? Yes. And what does that mean? Okay, Connie, that is correct. So she's a 33. Whoa, that's great. I'm a 33 also. So in numerology, there's 11, 22, and 33. 11 comes in as a teacher. A 22 comes in as a builder. Donald Trump is a 22. Now, he will, there's a negative side too, builder or destroyer. And the 33 comes in to teach and to build. And when somebody is a 33, they must follow the spiritual laws. And really, that's what a 33 is here to talk about. I should do a show on spiritual laws. I think I've done them some in the past, but I know that James and I will touch on and we'll talk about spiritual laws. I mean, be kind, be good to others. But there are some real basic spiritual laws. And as a 33, you really do have to go there. And if not, listen, you'll be, the sixes are great. They're here for balance and all kinds of things. But 33 it's a special one. So thank you, Connie. Your daughter is absolutely correct. Okay, should I take another question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'll bring in the next guest. I think his name is Scott, if I'm not mistaken. And Scott,
Okay.
you're live now. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Kelly.
How can I help you?
How are you?
I'm great. How are
Hi,
you?
I love your hair.
Isn't it great? Thank you. Today was a good day.
Yes.
Doing my own color. What a drag. But at least it's working so far. Never thought I would ever do my own color.
Right.
Honest to God.
I had a question, kind of around work and possibly relationship. I am talking to somebody, a beautiful girl named Sim. I'm just not sure how things are looking. Is she good for me?
Well, okay. Tell me this. What is your birthday, Scott?
5/13/72.
Okay. So 5/13. You are a 6 of diamonds. Oh, you so need to be in a relationship, don't you? It's important for you. Relationships are important for you. Do you know her birth date by any chance?
Oh shoot. It was just the beginning of, not exact. I want to say it was
Well, that's okay. If you don't,
October.
no
6th.
worries. If you don't have it, let me just talk about it from your standpoint. So,
Okay.
you're a 6 of diamonds, and a 6 of diamonds comes in their worst nightmare is that they will be abandoned, and yet they also really need to be in a relationship. So, have you already been divorced before?
Yes, about 10, 11 years ago.
Okay. All right. You're ready for a relationship. So, is she the right one? And when did you meet her?
I met her about a month ago.
Okay. It's really interesting, these COVID relationships, right? It's fascinating to me that people are, meeting up in COVID. But this one could work out for you. Okay? I just want to say that there's some deep connection here. I'm not really sure what it is yet, but there is some connection here. So just keep going for it. Just keep going for it. I know that you do come in to be um, in a soulmate relationship, and not everybody does, by the way. I'm just letting everybody know. I'm not like, ooh, the soulmate. I'm not. But some people are born to come in with a soulmate, and you're one of those people, Scott.
Mm.
So it's really
Mm.
important. You want to make sure that she's, but what happens when you first meet somebody is you project onto them what you think they are, right? And then, the mask comes off like 3 months later or 6 months later, and you're like, whoa. So
I had that with my last relationship. It was, the mask came off and then the gloves came on.
Okay, that's really funny. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for calling, Scott. Good luck with that. That's hysterical. You bet. Take care, honey.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that is so funny. I do want to answer this one question from Tammy. I'm going to say this, if I could say this right. Burkebile. Am I saying your name right, Tammy? Tammy Burkebile. That's a very cool last name. So she says, every once in a while, I have a dream that an entity is trying to pull me out of bed. Yikes. That would suck. The last one I remembered that I said a protection prayer earlier in the day, and I was able to say no. And I yelled in my sleep, and I woke my husband up, and the dream felt different, and it felt like I was awake while it was happening. Do you have any idea what that could have been? Was it an entity or my subconscious trying to tell me something? And her birthday is May 11th. Well, you come in as a power person. Let's see. So are there entities? I mean, yeah, there's some bizarre things out there, I have to say. And you know, here's what I think about entities. You need to keep it's mind, body, and soul. You guys all have to keep your strength up, your brain, your emotions up, your mind, body, and soul. Your belief system or your beliefs. Keep them strong. So if anything bizarre got near you, you'd be like, "What? Don't even think about it." And you have to keep that energy going. You have to keep that energy up. So in a dream state, it sounds like there was something strange. Now, could that have been something just trying to wake you up? Possibly. I mean, I'm not really sure. I've heard this happening before. I would say this, Tammy, get your strength up, get your real strong energy up, because that's what we all have to do now anyway. Get all your energy very strong, no matter what. Get your energy strong up right now, okay? Because I can't tell if this was or what this was, or if it was just, frankly, a dream. It could have been that too. But it sounds like you were, And I love the protection prayer, by the way. I love to do that. I've done that before, and I love to do that. That's a good one. All right, so thank you for that. That is an interesting question. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. I want to get to all of these. Here's one. I want to answer this before we take any more calls. This is from Jennifer Lynn Adams. She says, "Hi, Kelly. So happy you're back." Thanks, Jennifer Lynn. Me too. Do you have any favorite rituals for clearing and protecting your space? Yes. As I said, I love loud music. Maybe it's because I'm older, I'm going deaf. I love it. I love Tai Chi. I love this kind of thing. I use my treadmill now. That gets me clearing my space, believe it or not. I laugh a lot. I do anything to watch something funny. Um, I have to. Again, this is how I clear my space. Another thing, of course, James Van Prague taught me this, is to bring in the golden shower when you're, or the, that sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? The golden light, as if you're taking a shower. You bring in this golden light. That was pretty funny. Anyway, golden golden light that you bring it in, and it's like you clear off everything. You see, I'm already laughing, so I'm clear now. So, anyway, so I do that a lot, or often, or I'll visualize white light. That is a big one too. And I clear off my energy. Another thing I do is I take my crystals outside. Sometimes I take them for a walk with me, believe it or not. I just kind of carry them outside and keep them for a walk. I put them outside, I clear them with the energy of the air outside. Sometimes I wash them and then I put them out. And you don't have to wait for a full moon to do that. You can do that pretty much anytime. So just beware of your energy. That's another big tip. Beware of your energy. Okay. Any more calls? What can I do now? What can I answer somebody right now?
Okay, so let's see. We have Debbie. Debbie, I'm going to bring you into the show. You're live now.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, how are you?
Good. It's been a while since we've talked. I just wanted to know, how do you, I guess, meditate? I mean, I know that how to meditate and stuff like that to some degree, but how do you make sure that you're on the right, path? Should I be, for me right now, I kind of feel myself, I'm at a standstill, with my current position, where it's a safe job. I've had it for 19 years, yet there's a little bit of me that just wants to move on.
Then listen
And then
to
it's
that
kinda
little,
no,
listen to that little bit of you that wants to move on. Really start asking that little bit of you to start to come out. There's going to be a lot of change in the world right now, and a lot of change. Each one of us is going to change a lot. That may be for some people getting a divorce. That may be for some people getting a new job, starting on a new life path. But if you're already feeling that little kind of tug, that is how a spirit guide actually will start to get with you. It's like, time, come on. We'll start her a little bit. Next thing you know, it's going to be that flame inside is going to grow and grow and grow. And then what happens is you just surrender and it happens. The change. What is your birth date, Debbie?
11/10/81.
11/10. So happy birthday coming up. And your birthday, you are a 11/10, a 10 of clubs. Oh, so you must be very talented. It's time for a change. Probably. It's time for a change. I would say anything that you're doing that would bring you some passion. I know that your birth placement comes in for some passion here. And I think you have to be passionate about everything that you do. So I would say start thinking that way. What excites me here? Think like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because I've been kind of exploring. I even picked up a little temporary job, and I don't need the money, to tell you the truth. And so So it's just kind of like where I just kind of feel like I need to go somewhere just to give me some new passion.
That's
or like,
it. Yeah.
Or should I mean, of course, I should always focus on my kids. Like, should I be bringing my passion back at home, and just step back from the workplace and then just bring the passion back at home? Like
You
children.
can, but you can also bring the passion out for yourself too. I mean, each soul is here to experience all kinds of things. So if you've already spent a lot of time with the family and the kids, maybe it's time for you to explore what's good for you. I'm all for children,
Right.
believe me, but it might be time to do that. Just think like that. How old are you?
I'm going to be 39.
Oh, okay. So you haven't even begun to hit where you need to be yet. When you get about 42, 40, 41, 42, that's where life goes. Woo. And by the way, the 40s are so much fun. Really, remember that. A lot of fun.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not dreading like getting towards the 40. I'm, like me and my husband, we love to travel, and it's just something like I'm just ready for that time of our life already.
Yeah.
it's
I
just
understand.
kinda like, Ari, you're not in retirement time. I'm like, I know, but I'm just kind of like, I'm ready for that.
I know. Well, you're ready to have some passion.
Like
So,
the next step.
yeah, just take the next step for yourself. All right, honey. Thanks for calling.
Oh, thank you.
You
Bye.
bet. All right. Take care, honey. So,
All
do we have
right.
time for one more call?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Ardelia says, I love this. Ardelia from Australia says, I sometimes wear my crystals in my bra. Okay, that's great. And the other month, one popped out when I was getting treatment at the chiropractor. That's hysterical. And I swear, I think that's happened to me. That's really funny. Thank you for saying that. And Lori says, I stuff pockets with crystals every day. Yay. And you know what I do too, everybody? Before I go to the store, like once a month when I get out of the house and go to the store, to my local Walmart, which is something I never thought I would say, I put crystals in my purse because I really think it helps with the energy. Like, stay away, COVID. So I use my crystals that way. Anyway, one more question. Sorry about that. Okay.
No worries. Cheryl, I'm going to bring you into the studio. So you're live now, Cheryl?
Hi, Kelly. This is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Okay.
So I had what for me was the perfect soulmate who died. And I thought that I was never going to be interested in finding someone else. And my question is there more than one?
Oh, I got chills. Yeah, he's going to send you one. He's going to send you one. Yeah, what happens is when there's been a soulmate connection and the one person is left behind, often the soul on the other side sends another loved one to to the person they love, because love is love. They don't want you to be alone and sad. They know how you're doing. They know everything, and they love you so much. And I have chills everywhere. Get ready, Sister Sue. You're getting another one. I can feel it. I can feel this one coming. Yeah, he's gonna send you somebody else. He's gonna. Oh my God, this one's coming out of the sky with this one. So yeah, don't worry. I would say surrender, but I would say be open.
Show up.
Pardon me?
How do you know? How do you know when they show up? Because he's been gone for 5 years, and I've been very resistant.
Well, put the resistance down. Now, again, I know it's COVID, and I don't know how people date now, but somehow you're going to meet somebody, and I don't think it's on an app. I think it's. I saw, I don't know if you run into somebody at the supermarket. I really don't know how it's going to happen. But do you golf?
No, but I live near many golf courses.
I think you better
He
head out
always
to.
He always called me a hard hat golfer.
Okay, there you go. Do something with golf.
Anybody who golfed with me needed to wear a hard hat.
Oh, that's hysterical. Then, because it sounds like he's going to send you somebody from the golf community.
Okay.
Okay. So just go for long walks around the golf community and wear a hard hat. Okay.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
Kelly.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling, honey. Appreciate it. Well,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Renee?
Yes.
I think that time is up.
It's exactly 1 hour to the second when you said that. That's interesting too.
There you go. It must be good. Must be a Virgo. Must be a Virgo thing. But I do want to make, to say that again, beginning on November 16th, James Van Prague and I are doing our show, Both Sides Now and Beyond. You guys are going to love it. You're really going to love it. It's a great show. You're going to love it. And then Dr. Shirley and I are doing the Bad Dads on November 14th. Bad Dad, sign up. We still have a few tickets left, and I think you guys will love it. I mean, if you've had a bad dad, or if you know somebody that's had a bad dad, or if you've been a bad dad and you want to, change, it would probably be good too. Anyway, I think that's it. So thank you so much, Renee, for everything. And thank you,
Absolutely.
everybody. And love to everybody. Remember, remain calm, safe, deep breaths. We get through this. We'll get through this. Okay? Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.